Okay team, so the next project in the garden is to plant this big crabapple tree. So it's the perfect time of the year, July, end of July. The plant is dormant, the tree is dormant, and just marked out the shape of the root ball on the ground here, and cut out all the turf in pieces and laid it out on the ground like that, so that we can put that back around the tree once we've planted it. So got lots of digging to do, but it's going to go in this row of crab apples here. You can see there's 3 down there already, and one of them died here, and it's part of the landscaping project, so we're getting that back, one of the ones that was removed, and putting it into this place here to give us that avenue of crab apples. So there we go there, that's the beast. So you can see I've marked the hole out, measured it up. I had a center post in there, little stake, I'll show you that now, which was all measured up to make sure it was in the right place. That was in the center, and then I measured off that based on the dimensions of the tree, the root ball there, and then put the turf over there. So next step is lots more digging, and we're going to get that in this avenue of crab apples here. Okay team, so we're back with an update on the crabapple transplantation project. So we've got the hole down to about 400 millimeters deep, and with the shape of the main root structure. So next step is to try and lift this beast into the hole. It's going to be the fun part. Okay, so she's in. I'll just switch the camera around. Here we go. It was actually a little bit easier than I thought. I've stripped away some of the loose material, made sure we got all the critical root structure in there. Now I'm going to measure it all up to make sure it's in the right position. Then we'll start to prop it up with topsoil underneath in all the right areas, and then gradually put the soil in and just compact carefully so that we don't damage any of that root structure. There's a few little fresh roots in there. Got to be really careful not to stand on those or stamp on them while we're compacting. So really sort of loose compaction, and it will settle a little bit in the rain, but that's okay. Better not to damage that root structure, and then we can, if there's a lot of settlement from water afterwards, then we can always stake the tree upright to keep it upright while the root system strengthens. And then we can always top it up with a little bit more topsoil later. It's also critical not to cover that stem, so I'll be really careful not to put topsoil against the trunk, the bottom of the stem there, the base of the trunk. Otherwise that can cause fungus to get in there with the dampness and the topsoil against it, and you can kill the whole tree. So it's really important to be careful now with how we put the topsoil back and how we put the turf back around the tree as well. Okay, so back in here with an update team. Got the tree in, put lots of topsoil around, and used the a real important tip to note is that as I was putting the soil in, I used the handle of the shovel to press the dirt in underneath, the topsoil in underneath, nice and gentle. So it's pretty compact now, so I'm not making much ground there, much headway, but you can see how it's still pretty loose in there. So really important just to gradually tamper or compact the topsoil around as much as you can, but like I said, real gentle so you don't damage the root structure, because you've got to remember the tree is already under a lot of stress. Even though it's dormant, you want to protect that root ball as much as possible, so the least cuts and damage to that root ball the better, because every cut and breakage is another potential entrance for a fungal disease to get in. So really important to protect that as much as you can. So, and then I went round and just a very careful light foot tread to tamp it in as well to finish that off. So now we'll just prep it, get it ready for putting the turf back in, and we'll prep it a little bit higher so that as that soil sinks, when the rain comes and watering, we'll water this tree in straight after this. But as that topsoil compacts and sinks down, that will allow the turf to sink down to the level. So we will put the turf back in a little bit proud, if that makes sense, above the finished level. Okay, here we go with another update. So important to clean all those edges out, get a nice flat bed ready for the turf to go back in. So I tried a couple of pieces then, was sitting down too level, so I've put more topsoil in, to hopefully bring that turf up a little bit proud of where it's going to settle into. So over time, as I said, it will settle in as the topsoil underneath settles and compacts with the rainwater and the watering. So you can see a lot of the turf has gone back in, and as I go, I just if the turf is too low, I just lift it and push more dirt under there with my hands, more topsoil, until I get the right kind of level. So you can see got a few more pieces to go there, and we'll leave out the middle piece obviously where the trunk is, to give that trunk room to breathe and keep good airflow around it so it doesn't get any rot or fungus. So we'll clean off that topsoil that's sitting around it. So yeah, just to make sure you take a bit of time to adjust each piece of turf to get a good level finish, or above the level finish. You can see it's a little bit proud right around, so probably going to lift that little piece there a little bit more, bring it up a bit. It's still sitting too low, bring it all up so it's probably sitting say 10-20 mils above the finished lawn height. The team, we're back with an update. So you can see the turf has all fitted in pretty well. A little bit of creative cutting in the last couple of bits there, but overall it fitted pretty nicely, and it's just sitting proud, ready for settlement. And as you can see, left a bit of air gap around the trunk, around the base of the trunk there, so that's got good airflow. And job tidy. In another month or two it'll be covered in blossom. Beautiful ornamental crabapple. Have a great day.